Hi there. As I'm sure you've already realized, there was no recording of yesterday's webinar that was being sent out. Unfortunately, thank you to Mercury retrograde, I did not, and I am going to blame Mercury retrograde, I did not press record on the screen. So unfortunately, those who were lucky enough to be a part of that live webinar enjoyed it and enjoyed the meditation that we did, which was lovely. But for the rest of you that missed it, I'm terribly sorry. I am doing this recording just to give you a recap of what we discussed yesterday and some insight into the energies that we're working with this week. So, as I'm sure you've all realized, we are certainly living in the most incredible times. Each day, each week, I'm just astounded at the level of intensity that we're moving through, the opportunities for healing that are emerging, the growth that is happening. It truly is amazing. And having done this work for 20 years and seeing where we are right now, I don't know how. I would never have been able to imagine that we would have gotten to this place. Certainly in the short space of time that we have. And I think that, you know, as we come out of this phase of lockdown, we are certainly being triggered in some ways a lot more than we were during lockdown. You know, life, as we step out back into the world, life is certainly different. And that difference is being seen in the realizations that we've had about ourselves, the realizations we've had about the life that we're living, and perhaps the changes that we see that need to be made now. And this is all being highlighted, particularly at the moment, by the eclipse season that we are currently moving through. That eclipse season ends on the 4th or 5th of July, depending on where you are in the world, with another full moon lunar eclipse. And as we move through this week leading up to that eclipse, we are certainly going to be experiencing some intensity. Everything that we are experiencing now, the energies that are coming in are working to help us to sense and see and feel and recognize the blocks within ourselves and in our lives that stop us from being able to move forward, that block us from being able to access our full potential, that hinder the ability that we have to become more and more conscious of what our purpose is on this planet at this time. So there's a lot of that sort of stuff coming up and rising to the surface. The challenges that we're being faced with, we're going to have to really look at those challenges. Are they real challenges? Are they imagined challenges? Or are they just the what ifs that we're so conditioned to think about? Because as we step out of the space of intensity, we really need to start becoming excited and finding that excitement and that joy for life again. We need to start tapping into that energy, that creative energy and that creative force that exists within us, that comes in the form of passion and excitement and joy. Those are the kind of energies that we need to start bringing to the surface within ourselves. So as we release the past, as we let go of the blocks, as we face the challenges and move beyond them, so we make space these other more positive experiences to emerge in our lives. So really the next week or so is about looking deeply at what is in the way of me living my best life, what is in the way of me aligning everything in my life with what my purpose is. So we know that our purpose, we live each moment of every day. The key is to become conscious of what that purpose is so that we are able to align everything within ourselves and in our lives with that purpose. So it's really becoming more and more conscious, more and more aware of that as we move through this time and as we release the blocks, we release the past. So a lot of the blocks are going to be belief systems. They're going to be conditioning that we've, things that we've been conditioned to think, conditioned to feel, conditioned ways of behavior that we've been conditioned into through our families, our cultures, our societies, those sort of things. Those are going to be coming up. We really need to look at those. They form the structure of a lot of our lives, and we need to address them because the structures of our lives need to change. As a result, there may be emotional stuff that surfaces as we start to realize, you know, what we lived with and what we've lived within, those structures that we've lived within, what we've bought into. So there can be a lot of emotion that arises in that you know, that emotion can swing from anger to sadness and grief to you know, for some people it's quite shocking. So, you know, as you move through this week and through this time leading up to the next eclipse, just be conscious of where you're at, be conscious of where everyone else is at, be kind, be gentle to yourself and everyone else, and really use this time and the energy and work with it. Don't resist it. Look for the resistance if there is resistance, face that resistance. Allow yourself time each day to sit quietly, to tap into yourself, to listen to the intuitive senses or feelings or nudges that are coming up. Really make that a priority. I know I'm getting that message quite strongly myself, that I need to sit quietly each day, tapping into myself, tapping into where I'm at, because there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and you know, we kind of get sucked into that and distracted by it. So we do need to make time for ourselves, and time for that inner work, and to also replenish and recharge ourselves by doing that. So make that a priority in the next few days. Certainly as the intensity of the energy ramps up, it's certainly going to. And I'm almost looking forward to this full moon eclipse. I feel like it's going to be a bit of a breakthrough for us. So I'm wishing you a good week, and I hope to see you next week on the webinar. And I've asked someone to remind me to press record. Have a fantastic week, everyone. Look forward to seeing you soon. Cheers.